Now, some teams dominate the regular season so much that anything less than a championship is considered a failure. Losing in the finals or even the semifinals, while disappointing, is rarely cause for humiliation. After all, it's hard to win a championship over 30-something other teams in any sport. But what about when a top seed and championship contender loses to a major underdog in the opening round? Now that's another story. Number 10, the 02-03 Colorado Avalanche. These Avalanche weren't as dominant as the 96 and 2001 Stanley Cup winners, but they still managed to take the Northwest Division with 105 points. Not only that, but the Avalanche also drew a favorable matchup against the Minnesota Wild. That team was only in its third year of existence. Colorado jumped out to a 3-1 series lead. Everything was looking up for Colorado until they lost the next two games and were thus forced to go back home for Game 7. And it was the last game of Wild's storied career. The Avalanche and Wild Game 7 required overtime, and Andrew Burnett scored the game winner that silenced all of Colorado. Number 9, the 2017 Cleveland Indians. The Indians were one swing of the bat away from winning the 2016 World Series, but they fell to the Chicago Cubs in a gut-wrenching 7th game. You recall that Cleveland blew a 3-1 series lead. They won 102 regular season games and had a plus 254 run differential. They also pieced together a historic 22-game winning streak. Jose Ramirez batted .318, Edwin Encarnacion clubbed 38 homers and 107 RBIs. Cleveland's 5 starters each won double-digit games, and Corey Kluber won the AL Cy Young Award. The Indians met the young and somewhat rebuilding New York Yankees in the ALDS. Cleveland won the first 2 games and looked poised for a sweep, but the Yankees rallied to win the next 3 games, ending Cleveland's remarkable and historic 102-win season. Number 8, the 98-99 Miami Heat. In a lockout-shortened season, Pat Riley's Miami Heat earned the top spot in the Eastern Conference with a 33-17 record. The Heat met the 8-seeded Knicks, who went 27-23 in the regular season. This should have been a cakewalk for Miami. So, what happened? The Knicks shot 43.8% from the field, and the Heat shot 40%. When all was said and done, the Knicks dispatched the Heat in 5 games. They go on to reach the NBA Finals, losing to the San Antonio Spurs in 5 games. Number 7, the 05-06 Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings looked primed to win their 4th Stanley Cup in 9 years. 4 players had 80-plus points, 8 of them hit the 50-point mark, and 8 players scored 20 or more goals. The Red Wings were far and away the NHL's best team during the regular season. They won the President's Trophy after finishing with 58 wins and 124 points. The Red Wings met the 8-seeded Edmonton Oilers in the opening round. The Oilers dominated much of the series and upset the league's top team in 6 games, winning a thriller on home ice to clinch it. Edmonton would reach the Stanley Cup final and fell just 1 game short of upsetting the Carolina Hurricanes. Number 6, the 10-11 San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs had already won 4 NBA championships under head coach Greg Popovich and Tim Duncan. They were well positioned to add a 5th in the 2010-11 season, having earned the top seed in the Western Conference with a 61-21 record. Unfortunately, the Spurs were hit by injuries at the worst possible time. Well, the Spurs were still expected to handle the 8-seeded Memphis Grizzlies, who finished with a 46-36 record. The Grizzlies weren't going to actually pull this upset off, right? Memphis finished off San Antonio in 6 games, becoming the 4th number 8 seed in NBA history to pull off the first round upset. Number 5, the 2011 Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies led the majors with 102 wins and 60 losses, and their team ERA of 3.02 was tops in the majors. They finished with a plus 184 run differential, and it was thanks to one of the greatest rotations ever assembled. Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, and Cole Hamels combined to win 50 games, and each of them recorded an ERA of 2.79 or lower. The Phillies met the NL wildcard St. Louis Cardinals in the NLDS. Well, Philly clobbered the Cardinals 11-6 in Game 1, but the Phils only scored 10, count them 10, combined runs over the next 4 games, and the Cards capped off the upset with a 1-0 victory in the decisive Game 5. Number 4, the 93-94 Seattle Supersonics. With Michael Jordan briefly retired, the path was there for Seattle to bring home an NBA championship. Seattle met the 8-seeded Denver Nuggets in the opening round of the playoffs. This best of 5 was supposed to be a cakewalk for the Supersonics. Seattle's top players performed well, but the Nuggets also got excellent production from unsung heroes like LaFonso Ellis, Reggie Williams, and Dikembe Mutombo. The Sonics won the first 2 games, but Denver rallied with 2 big home wins to even the series. The contest required overtime and was led by Robert Pack's 29 points and LaFonso Ellis's 19. The Nuggets pulled off a shocking 98-94 victory over the NBA's best regular season team. Led by legendary head coach Scotty Bowman and a ton of Hall of Famers, the Red Wings had all the makings to end their near 4-decade-long Stanley Cup drought. Detroit had the NHL's best offense during the regular season, scoring a total of 356 goals. They finished with 100 points and met the San Jose Sharks in the opening round of the playoffs. The Sharks were only in their 3rd year of existence. The young Sharks, full of no-name players, somehow kept pace with the Red Wings and forced a 7th game at Joe Louis Arena. The decisive contest was tied 2-2 with under 7 minutes to go. Red Wings goalie Chris Osgood misplayed the puck off the boards, allowing Jamie Baker to score on an empty net for the series-winning goal. San Jose held on for the monumental upset, and Detroit's cup drought wouldn't end for another 3 years. Number 2, the 06-07 Dallas Mavericks. Coming off a trip to the NBA Finals, Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks looked poised to finally win their first title in franchise history. They ran away with the best regular season record, winning 67 games while dropping just 15. Dirk won the league MVP after averaging 24, 8, and 3. The Mavericks drew an easy first-round matchup against the Golden State Warriors team that finished with a mere 42 wins and 40 losses. Golden State sent Dallas packing in 6 games. The Warriors became just the 3rd 8th seed in NBA history to upset the top seed in the opening round. The 2018 and 19 Tampa Bay Lightning pieced together an incredible regular season that may never be topped again. They cruised to the President's Trophy after racking up 128 points, and the Lightning matched the 95-96 Red Wings record for most wins in a single season with 62. Nikita Kucherov ran away with the scoring title after registering 128 points, the most in the post-lockout era. So what happened when the Bolts met the AC Columbus Blue Jackets in round 1? Everything went burning to the ground for the Lightning. Columbus pulled off the shocking first-round sweep. It was the first playoff series win in the franchise's history, and they only defeated one of the top 5 greatest regular season teams ever, loaded with superstars, future Hall of Fame. Which do you think is the most shocking first-round exit of all time? Join us in the comments section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton, and we truly appreciate it.